Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining. It's just a couple minutes past 10:30. We will keep this one very brief today. However, it will be extremely helpful, I hope. So we're thrilled to review the new introductions from Bellbridge for 2024. Yes, it's 2024 and the new products are coming. They are almost here. We'll go over dates, new products, collections, as well as how the new products connect with existing products in the Bellbridge line. Before we start, I just want to mention that Bellbridge does rug fabrication now. So if you are looking to have custom sized rugs made and you would prefer that the mill do it, email customer service for a quote. They offer machine serging as well as binding in wide binding, narrow wide binding. All right, well, let's get into it. I appreciate all you taking a few minutes of your time this morning. So, Bellbridge's new styles this year. There are 9 new styles across 3 different collections. We'll review each of these today. I'd just like to go over everything first from kind of an overview from Bellbridge. They are importing products from 2 continents and 2 countries this year. We have styles coming from Spain as well as styles coming from India. The photo on the far left includes the styles from India, which are hand loomed, all made 16.4 wide. And then the middle photo and the photo on the right are both Wiltons coming from Spain. Now, these are the main 2 factories, as you're most likely aware, for Bellbridge products in the recent years. Are Wiltons, the most popular styles, linen stripe, are woven, Wilton woven in Spain. And then the most popular handloom styles, Leighton, Metropolitan, hand tufted styles, Panay, are coming from India. All right, let's dive into the handloom styles first. First up is Adamas. And so there's 4 styles in this collection of hand loomed. Adamas here has a larger pattern, which is why we wanted to show this photo, because as samples are arriving in your showroom, you might not see the full repeat. There should be a photo on the back of the sample to show the somewhat of a checkerboard design for this diamond pattern. Now, the goods here for these first 4 styles that we're presenting are all arriving in a week or 2 at Bellbridge's warehouse. So these are good to go to sell now, to present now, if anything catches your eye. As we go through here, you're going to see for the handloom styles, these are mostly all going to be in neutral colorways. Adamas specifically, it's various shades of beige and gray. Despite what people say, gray continues to sell really well. And Bellbridge bases their colors off of sales histories. So these are derived from a lot of the existing handloom products that are selling well in the Bellbridge line. So the next product in this collection is called Dune. Dune here is one of my favorite, I think, just because it has more of a erased look that we're seeing a lot in the kind of modern transitional rug market. And to have this product and this design available in 16.4 wide broadloom is great. It's really versatile design in a lot of different interiors. And then the colorways here for the Dune are very similar. The one I want to mention that is going to be different is the light green. And believe it or not, that is green. Green is a very difficult photo to photograph. And Bellbridge has a very muted green that acts really as a neutral in an interior. So personally, I have a light green Bellbridge carpet in my house, and no one realizes that it's green. It's so neutral, but it does offer just a softened color that trends away from the gray scheme. Now, the third style in this collection, so we've gone over Adamas and Dune, is Papyrus. And Papyrus is a really classic kind of basket weave design with this lovely pink colorway as well. Excuse me. A lovely pink colorway here. Papyrus offers a few more color options. As you'll see, there's actually two different greens here. One of them coordinates with the dune, and then you also have the pink, and then a light blue color, which is unique. Now, a question we often receive as we're talking about new products with customers is, why don't you have every color in every single design? And it's a great question, because we would love to have blue and white in every single pattern, particularly here in the Northeast. And Bellbridge, during their product development, they do sample everything in every design. But just because the pink color or the light blue color looks good in one pattern, it doesn't always translate to the other patterns. And so that's just as a context here. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating when thinking about that, like, why aren't there 8 colors in every single one and just the same colors? But they've gone through the product development to hopefully have the best looking styles for each pattern and colorway. And then the final collection in the hand looms 16/4 is Scribe. And Scribe's, I'm going to say, the most unique style. Feedback has been overwhelmingly positive to have such a large scale pattern, which is distinct as opposed to some smaller scale patterns in the market now. Here we only have the neutral colorways for Scribe, similar to when we started out with the Adamas, beiges and grays, in a few different tones. I'm going to flip back one more time just so you can see the overall image here. And I'm going to pause quickly to mention, if there's any image that you see in this presentation that you would like to have, please send us an email to myself or Michelle. We're happy to share any of these images for use, for social media, for any projects that you want to have, or just for reference. The images make a tremendous difference when we're talking about these high-end patterned goods, particularly some of the more obscure patterns that lend themselves, when you see it full size, just so striking and such an impact. All right, so that is the last of the new hand loom styles. I just want to mention that those 4 new styles all coordinate with last year's introductions. As a reminder, these are the 3 patterns that were hand loomed, flat woven last year from Bellbridge, Herne Bay, Beachlands, and Devonport. And as we take it a step further, those styles, colorways also cross over. And I just pulled some photos here to show for some of the older styles, for the pink, the blue, and the green. As you'll see on the pink, Papyrus is the only new introduction that comes in the light pink. However, it does coordinate with Panay in the upper left here, Lolly, and Mosaic. And we've been getting a lot of requests for pink styles, so we're thrilled to have a new addition. The same story for the light blues. However, it also coordinates with the Leighton light blue as well. And then in the light green, both Dune and Papyrus coordinate with Panay, Lolly, and Mosaic. So we have a great little family of styles here in these colorways for hand loom. They're all 16/4 wide goods, all 100% wool from Bellbridge. In the neutrals, there are some more coordinates. Shocking, I know. A lot of beige options in the sandy colors here that coordinate 2 different beige colorways. And these coordinate across more of the hand loom new introductions, as well as going farther back in the Bellbridge line of hand loom styles. All right, on to the second collection here. These are now Spanish products. We've gone around the world to the other continent, Europe, and we're really excited about, there's 2 styles here. First up is Parquet. Now, Parquet is a round wire Wilton, and what's really different about Parquet is that, as opposed to using a white or an ivory as a complementary color that we previously saw in the hand loom styles, Bellbridge is now using a beige strié in the background to provide warmth and make it a bright as well with a pop of color. So it is difficult to see. We're going to scoot over so you can see the colorway options for parquet. But you have a beige strié here, and then there is two different blue colors for the blue quartz. The sienna dust has a rusty brown orange colorway. The creme brulee is with a beige on beige, a little yellowy color. And what is great about this collection is that it really stands out because it's using something different in the market with these colorways. But also, the green on the bottom left pine has been everyone's most requested style. And greens are tough to hit, but Bellbridge has done a nice job having it be a subtle green with the beige. Now, parquet coordinates with terrazzo, which is the same exact construction, the same exact colorways, just a different pattern. So you have a little bit of a ticking stripe here across the width, as opposed to the box pattern in parquet. However, the colors all perfectly complement each other, which are great for coordinating rooms, as well as stair runners and rugs, or for wall-to-wall, obviously. Now, parquet and terrazzo coordinate with last year's introductions, which were flat woven Wiltons from Spain, Traverse and Journey. Now, you might remember these, Traverse and Journey. They were very popular because it was the same color story. However, the only difference is that parquet and terrazzo, the new introductions, are round wire Wiltons, so they have more of a pile, as opposed to the flat woven Wilton for Traverse and Journey. Now, in addition to coordinating with last year's introductions, the new styles also coordinate with many of the other styles made in Spain in Bellbridge's line. A few here just pointed out, Nexus, Viewpoint, Nantucket. Another style is Crossings. And so there is a real assortment of different styles that all work together, complementing, building off of these different color stories from Spain. Most options in the Wiltons are in the blues, and those are our best sellers. Linen stripe in the blues, linen in the blue, navy denim, waterfall, riverbed. So this collection here, we're really excited just because it's complementing some of the best-selling products already in the line, as well as some new products. All right, now we're headed into the final collection here. And this story is also coming from Spain. However, it is a much different weave. They are Wiltons, and you can probably tell from this photo that there is a little more texture for these products. So we'll get into that quickly. I just want to go over this first one, which is Boardwalk. Now, these Wiltons are 13.2. Keep that in mind. We do have some Wiltons that are made 15.9. When in doubt, always check the back of the sample. Always check concordimports.com or give Bellbridge a call or email. Now, Boardwalk here is working in the more warmer pastel color range. So you're seeing the blue, the green, the grays, and the beige. So the warmer colors, warm pastels, this is an extension for some flat weaves that are already in the Bellbridge line, how offering a more luxurious feel due to the chunky loops that you're seeing in these styles. So Boardwalk works with Promenade, excuse me. And Promenade is my favorite new introduction here because it combines a herringbone design as well as with a classic trellis. And herringbones and trellises are two things that we love up here in New England. It's a similar herringbone in the field, which is a little bit lower. It's like a flat woven Wilton in the field where the herringbone is. And then there's a raised loop for the trellis design, which provides like a fresh take on a classic pattern, which is great because you do see the same warm pastel colors, but you have the classic look that still fits so many of our colonial homes in this area, where people want to update and might want to move away from some of their darker colors that they've been having in their interiors, but they don't want to go to a modern design maybe that we saw in the first collection today. So Promenade should just, it's excellent style, really well made, beautiful. I can't wait for you all to get your hands on the samples for these. And the next style is the most luxurious, and a lot of you might say, Thomas, I recognize that one. That looks a little similar to Cumulus Cloud. And you're right, it is similar. However, Cumulus Cloud is made with natural yarns, actually, down in South America. So a similar style here, Mirage. And this one is something that when we opened up our samples, we just put our hands on it and it just feels luxurious. It is 100% wool, just like everything else we've talked about today. But it has just a luxurious hand with the cut and loop texture. The colorways all cross over as well with the beige, the light, the stone. So it is a beautiful style to complement the group here of the Spanish Wiltons here at the end. I do want to point out that all of these styles, three new styles, are an extension from last year's introduction, which was called Highland. Now, I hope you all recall Highland. Here's a photo of it here. Highland was just more of a textural stripe loop, kind of like a thick sweater. And so it's great to have these styles now coordinate colorways with the grays, the beiges, the blues for last year's introduction, Highland. And a few of the colors also coordinate with a previous introduction, which was called Ella. That is it for the new collections. I'm just going to click back so we can review just all of them all at once, one of these earlier slides. I do want to review as well that all sample swatches are available now for any of these styles. So if there's anything specifically that caught your eye that you'd like a sample of, please email customer service, myself, Michelle. We went over Adamas, Dune, Papyrus, and Scribe today, which are hand loom styles, 100% wool, made 16 feet 4 inches wide. Those are coming from India, complementing many of our existing hand loom styles. Leighton, again, is our top seller. So make sure you have samples of Leighton. If you're missing them, let us know. The next two styles were Parquet and Terrazzo. Those are coming from Spain. And then the final three were Boardwalk, Mirage, and Promenade. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining. We did it in about 20 minutes. I appreciate the time. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Please reach out with questions, comments, concerns, and happy Halloween.